Today we have come here to worship me as Shri Ganesh. We have been singing the praise of Shri Ganesha before every puja. And we have such tremendous respect for Shri Ganesh, because we have found out that unless and until Shri Ganesha, who is the symbol of our innocence, is not awakened within us, we cannot enter into the kingdom of God. And even to stay there and to enjoy the blessings of Shri Ganesha, we have to have our innocence fully blossoming. So we praise him, and he is very easily praised. And whatever we might have done wrong before coming to Sahaja Yoga, he completely forgives, because he is the eternal child. You have seen children, when you slap them, sometimes get angry with them, they forget it. They only remember the love and not what they have suffered at your hands. Till they grow up, they do not have memory of bad things done to them. From the very beginning, a child is born to a mother. He doesn't know what he has gone through. Then gradually the memory starts working, and he starts restoring things within himself. But in the beginning, only he remembers what nice things have happened to him. So we always like to ponder about our childhood, what we enjoyed in our childhood. But as we start growing up, we start remembering all the miseries and all the tribulations we had to go through, all the ordeals through which we have passed. We try to magnify it. In childhood, the children only remember the people who have loved them and not the people who have hurt them. They don't want to remember, perhaps. It looks like that. But when they grow up, they only try to remember those people who have harmed them or have troubled them. And that's how they make themselves very miserable. But the principle of Ganesha is extremely subtle. It's the subtlest of subtle. And it exists in everything. That it exists in the matter, in the form of vibrations. There is no matter which is without vibrations. It has vibrations which are seen even in the atoms and also in the molecules of all matter that is existing. So Shri Ganesha is the first one who was established in the matter as well. As a result, we can see he exists in the sun, he exists in the moon, he exists in the whole universe, in the whole creation, and he continues to exist in human beings also. Only the human beings have capacity to some or other cover up the innocence. Otherwise, animals are innocent. Human beings have the freedom. If they want, they can cover up their innocence. They can shut down the doors of Shri Ganesha and say that he does not exist. They can cloud it. And that is why we find among human beings that they are doing so many horrible things, avoiding the existence of Shri Ganesh. But he acts. He acts in a way that he shows natural results of our wrongdoings. Like if you do things which are not pleasing to Shri Ganesh, he goes up to a point, forgives you up to a point, and then he starts emerging out as diseases, as physical diseases, and in women it becomes a mental disease. Also, it can create problems in the nature. The natural catastrophes are also only the curse of Shri Ganesha. When people start doing wrong things, behaving in a wrong manner, collectively, then the natural catastrophes come to teach them a lesson. So, in his essence, though he exists in everything, also in that he has capacity to assert his will to bring forth the destruction of the whole world. We have Sri Ganesha's idea as a minute thing. We think he can go on a little mouse, so he must be a very minute. He is as minute as he is great. He surpasses all the deities because of his wisdom. He is the giver of wisdom. He gives us wisdom. He makes us learn. He is our guru in that respect, Mahaguru, because he teaches us how we should behave. If we try to surpass him and try to misbehave, even the mother won't support, because she knows that those who surpass Sri Ganesha are also the people who will never respect the mother. So he is the epitome of respect for mother. Epitome. He does not know any other gods, he does not know Sadashiva, he doesn't know anybody else, but he only respects the mother. So he is the one who is the power of devotion and complete surrender to mother, and that's why he is the most powerful deity among all the deities. And nobody can surpass him in his power. We have to understand that as children are growing, Sri Ganesha starts growing in them also, but as they are human beings, they can somehow or other try to overpower Sri Ganesha. So it's the duty of parents who are Sahajogis to see that they look after their children in a way, in a detached way, to see that Sri Ganesha in them is settled. The first sign of Sri Ganesha in a child is wisdom. If the child is not wise, if he is troublesome, if he does not know how to behave, then that shows that the Sri Ganesha is being attacked by him. And these days, in the modern times, as it is, children are very much under attack. Innocence is under attack. And it is very difficult for people to make a fine line as to how far to go with children and how far not to go. Today's lecture would be more concerning about how far to go with Sri Ganesha as far as children are concerned, because that's a very important point. Because he is the giver of wisdom. So the parents must understand that if he is the giver of wisdom, there should be wisdom within me. And if I have the wisdom, then I have the balance. And I don't lose tempers with children, but I try to correct them in such a manner that they get corrected. On the contrary, if you try to be very harsh with your children, they might react and they might go astray. Or you try to restrict them too much, then also they will behave in the same manner. So one thing is to be taught to your own children, as Shri Ganesha himself does, that respect your mother. Your mother means your holy mother and your own mother. That is very important. If the father doesn't make the child respect the mother, the child can never be all right, because the authority comes from the father, no doubt, but mother must be respected. But for that it is very important that mother must respect the father. So in the presence of children, if you start fighting with each other, misbehaving and talking in a manner that is not proper, also will have a very bad effect on the Ganesha Tattva of the child. This upbringing is a very important thing in Sahaja Yoga, because by God's grace you all have got realized children. So you must know how far to go with your children, to make them wiser, to be moral, to be righteous. First thing is that you should try to preserve their wisdom. If they say something wise, you must appreciate. But they should not also say out of place, out of grace. So the misbehavior is also not to be tolerated, in the sense that whatever is wisdom within has to be expressed outside as light. Now we go further with it to see how far Sri Ganesha acts. As I said, in the subtlest of subtlest he exists, but you have to awaken him. For example, you have seen the water which is vibrated. Means what? Vibrated means the Ganesha Tattva is being enlightened in that water. So when that water goes into your stomach or into your eyes or wherever you want to put it, it acts. Acts in a way that it excites the Ganesha Tattva into anything that you put it. Now you have seen we have got miracles of agriculture to begin with. Miracles of agriculture is such that people are amazed. But it's very simple. Once you start exciting the Ganesh principle into the seed, it becomes 10 times, sometimes 100 times. Even the Mother Earth, which we think to be something dead, can be vibrated. Supposing you Sahajogis walk bare feet on the ground, the Mother Earth gets vibrated. Such Mother Earth will act on the trees, on the grass, on the flowers, on the everything. As it is, the Sahajogis have been telling me that in their ashrams, all the flowers that grow are out of size and very fragrant. Like daisies never had fragrance in London or in England, never. Now the daisy size was so small, it has become so big, and you see them everywhere, so fragrant. And it is a miracle the first time when I told somebody that the daisies have fragrance, they couldn't believe it. And when they saw the fragrance, they were surprised. In the same way, Ganesha Tattva understands things, organizes, works out. If it is awakened, if it is not, it is sleeping, then it does not. So it acts, it works out. Like a little seed when it sprouts, at the tip of the seed there is a little cell which has got the Ganesh Tattva which is being awakened. So it knows how to go down, how to go around a stone and how to embed itself and how to reach the source of water. But it has only the sense how far to go to exist, how far to go to nourish yourself on a very material plane, how to allow the tree to grow. But this Ganesh Tattva starts becoming very, very subtle and subtlest at the point of Agya Chakra. At the time of Agya Chakra, it understands that it has now the spiritual dimension. The same Ganesha Tattva which acted in a small little tip of a root now acts for the spiritual thing. That's why people close their eyes when they meditate, because they don't want to see anything else, but they want Sri Ganesha just to act for the meditative process of their Kundalini. This process of meditation, when we close our eyes, acts. But if you see, if somebody is sleeping and he is dreaming, you will see there will be, the eyes will be all the time moving, there will be moving eyes. This Ganesh Tattva is now acted by your attention. If you have an attention which is all the time going from this place to that place, to that place, to that place, then it is affected. Especially in the case when we start looking at men, looking at women all the time, then also our Ganesha Tattva gets very much destroyed. Such people are difficult for rising in their ascent, because Agya itself goes out. Then this Ganesha Tattva can also be reduced if you are very materialistic, all that worried about your things, like you have something in the house, you're worried about and looking at everything all the time, trying to correct it, and all the time worried about the matter. Then also this Ganesha Tattva can be lost, because you are all the time worried about these things. Like we are going to the shop and we are seeing everything, what is there, what should I buy, what should I buy. Like that also, if you do too much, it will be. But supposing you are buying something out of beauty, for beauty. You want to buy something for beautifying your house. That means you are trying to do something to please others. You are doing it to make others very happy. Then it acts the other way around. Then it increases your ascent. But if it is done only to create a kind of a joy for others, sharing of the beauty of whatever you have bought or you have taken. But supposing you are buying anything for making others feel jealous, that also I have recently learned that there is a capacity like that for people to buy something to make others jealous, not to make somebody feel happy. If there are people who buy things just to make others feel jealous, then also their Ganesha Tattva can be destroyed. What you should buy anything, you should make a beautiful house. When somebody comes to your house, you should say, oh, what a nice thing we have seen. Not attachment to the thing, but attachment to the thing, how people feel, how they feel nice and relaxed, and they feel their Sri Ganesha within them, which is beauty. When this feeling comes in, then we should say there's Ganesha Tattva. And it's a very motherly feeling, it is. Like a mother always wants to give sweet things to her children, beautiful things to her children. In the same way, in that you have that vatsalya, as it's called, is the feeling of the mother for the child. That subtle feeling you have, that people have come to my house, now see how they are happy, they are enjoying this, and they are appreciating it. In that way, you also satisfy a very great Ganesh principle, is that you have taken note of the artists. Though the artists are creating their all beautiful things out of matter through the Swadhisthana, but without Swadhisthana being governed by Sri Ganesha, it cannot be beautiful. These days, as you see, the artists are taking to all sorts of grotesque things and very immoral things. And these things are of no eternal value. Today people will buy them and tomorrow they'll throw away. Only the things which have got the subtle Ganesh principle in it acting, which makes you soothe down, which makes you feel peaceful, which makes you feel happy, is the one that is appreciated. So Shri Ganesha establishes within you the higher self. So the baser self, which enjoys all baser things of lives, are being curtailed down, being cut down, sometimes completely destroyed by Shri Ganesha. I'll give an example of Mona Lisa. If you see Mona Lisa, I don't know, she cannot be an actress. She cannot win any beauty contest, I think. Her face is very serene, very motherly, very pure, her eyes. And why is it that she's eternally so much appreciated? The reason is there is Ganesha principle in her. She's a mother. And the story about that one is that this lady had lost her child. And she would never smile, she would never cry. And one little child was brought to her. And when she saw the child, then the smile that came on her face of that love for the child is being depicted by this great artist. And that's why people are appreciating it. And you have seen in the West, though the people don't show much interest in the mother-child relationships, anywhere you go is the mother and child theme is the best. They'll show you a photograph, this is mother and child, this is Christ's mother and child. When the Christ was brought down, the mother is there. They have to have mother and the child principle acting, otherwise that picture is not regarded as something great. Or you have to have actually Christ, who is the Ganesh principle himself, to be shown. I haven't seen any picture as such of those days where these principles are not there. Even Picasso has used it. Even people who have been quite modern had to use this principle to popularize. But some people have used to popularize not the Ganesh principle, just anti-Ganesh principles. All such things have vanished into thin air, and I see now gradually it's all going down and down and down and down. Despite the fact people have lost their morals, but still they would like to have Rembrandt, they like to have Leonardo da Vinci, they would like to have such artists who have done mother and child. It's very surprising. Even I went to Austria this time, I said, what statues are yours? He said, we have got beautiful Madonna and the child. So this principle is the most pleasing principle. It's the most pleasing principle for human beings. To see the children, to play with them, to enjoy their company. Why? Because it has that sweetness of a child. It's really, I should say, tickles joy within you when you see a child. Immediately the face becomes different. I have told you that I have seen even a crocodile cracking her eggs. They showed it in a film. And you should have seen the eyes of the crocodile at that time. How carefully she was cracking. So beautiful her eyes were, full of such love pouring out of her eyes. I can't believe these are the eyes of the same crocodile. And so slowly she's cracking with her mouth all the eggs and the little crocodiles coming out. And then she brings them on the shore and washes them in the mouth all the time.